This is our KJ Somaiya interview experience coming up shortly. Hi guys, I just got over with my VAT and GD process. The topic for what was impacts of globalization on local cultures. We were given around 20 minutes to write about 300 to 350 words. It was a pretty good topic and we were given sufficient time. And then we were taken to a room. We were given serial numbers. So mine was J, which is the panel, and 10 was my serial number. And then we were given a GD topic. The topic of the GD was sexual education in India. How can you sensitively educate people on sex education in India? How, whether or not sex education can prevent violence on women. We were given around 3 minutes to think. There was a short 150 words case that was written, and we were asked to speak then 12 minutes for speaking, and then after everybody has spoken and after the end of the 12 minutes the panelists would call out random serial numbers minus 10, and we had to do a summary within 15 seconds. So we did that. After that we were told to come back to the auditorium and sit, and I'm waiting for my interview. So Prantik is also here. Prantik, what was your panel? Prantik's panel is
E11.
E11. So how was your GD? What you also had the same topic?
Sex education in India.
Sex education in India. So how was your GD?
GD was pretty good. All the other participants were also very responsive and they respected each other's opinion, most importantly, because all the other GDs that I've attended, everyone was like hell bent on putting each other down. This did not happen this time.
Yeah,
So it was
one word of caution and one suggestion I would love to give the aspirants who are watching this is don't make a GD into a fish market. It's not a debate, it's a group discussion. You have to discuss on the topic. Just discuss, put forward your points, let the others speak. It's not a debate. Don't cross others, don't cut others, don't make it into a fish market. That's a huge negative point
You're
in a
actually
GD.
dock points if you interrupt people and if you give the vibe that you are here to fight. You're not here to fight. You're just here to respect others' opinions as well as put your opinion forward.
Absolutely, it's just a discussion that's happening. Moreover to that, I don't think there's like, what's your opinion on this? I don't think there are some brownie points for starting the GD or concluding
No,
the
nothing
GD.
like that. There are some mentors and tuition centers that say that okay, you have to take leadership into your own hands and you have to start the GD and you have to conclude their conclusion points and starting points. All those I think are rubbish. You just need to be very respectful when you are putting forth your opinion. If you put forth your opinion at all, don't be silent. That's a minus. You have to speak, but you have to. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to start or conclude. And in this GD, we are all given time, 15 seconds to summarize. So everyone was given equal opportunity.
And moreover to that, it doesn't matter whether you start or not. It might so happen that you are starting, you just introduce the topic, reintroduce the topic to the panelists, which they already know, and you never come again during the entire GT. So won't give you any points. On the other hand, suppose you are the least spoken person in the entire GT, but your points, suppose you gave 2 points or 1 point, which was a very valid point and a very relevant point, that would give you more marks rather than, coming back again and again and again.
See, the person who is actually evaluating your GD, that person has like donkey's years of experience. Very senior person, must be senior or has at least has decent enough years of experience. So that person will understand that whether you are bluffing, whether you really know things, or you're just speaking because you have to speak because you have to get marks. They have this nonsense detector very inbuilt in them, so
Correct.
you can't fool them.
Exactly. So, any GDs that's coming up for your interviews, wish you all the very best. And interview experience will be coming up very shortly after we are done with the interviews. So, guys, just finished with our KJ Somaiya interview. My interview got a little bit late. Prantik was called early. I don't know why. His panel members called him early, and
Random.
he was.
They just got a new room available, so they just called a few later ones. I was 11, so suddenly they called 11 and 12, while 6 to 10 were waiting. So random.
But mine was very chronological. I was called uh, during my turn only, and I was the second last person again, the second last person to be interviewed. And this is I don't know, this has been a continuous thing. In Rohtak also, I was the second last person to be interviewed, which eventually I became the last. In Amritsar, I was the second last person to be interviewed. Anyways, coming to the interview experience. So my interview lasted for about 15-ish minutes, and I don't remember the names of the professors. I could not find them also, but I'll write it down if I could find them during the editing. So there were two professors. One was female, one was male. One of the professors, he was a Bengali. He was from Kolkata itself, and one was a female professor. Both of them were around the age of 45 plus. And the first thing I was asked was to hand them over my profile form, wherein we filled all our details, all our HRQs. I handed them over, and then the first thing I was asked was the general, tell me about yourself. I introduced myself. I told them about various things that I did, my hobbies. And when I was introducing myself, that is when they were picking each and everything and asking me questions. So when I say that I did my mass communication from St. Xavier's College, the first thing they asked me that why a BSc degree in mass communication. I answered that, which is a typical question that we both are facing in our interviews.
99% of the interviews that we have sat for, that has been the concurrent question. Like, why BSc and mass communication together? They can't believe it.
It's usually a BA or a BJMC that's offered in mass communication, but I don't know. We were given a BSc degree probably because we had a little bit more technicalities.
We had this videography, editing, and which
Light, sound,
lab
yeah.
work. Yes.
So that's why probably they had to give a BSc degree. So I told them. Then the professor who was from Kolkata, he was very intrigued about knowing who are the professors there, because I believe he probably knew some of the professors, and he was asking me questions about what did I learn during the course, what were the subjects. No technical knowledge was asked, no subject knowledge was asked. It was just a very chill conversation about what did I actually learn. So after that, the female professor, she asked me that, okay, so after your graduation, what did you do? So I told her about my work ex, and later on how I progressed with my career and how I progressed with advertising and marketing. And all of these questions came up. Then a little bit conversation was driven by the male professor, who was asking me about my hobbies, my YouTube journey, my acting journey. I did a I did a movie with a national award winning film director, Mr. Sanjay Nag. We were discussing about that. How was the experience to work with the likes of Pankaj Tripathi and Soni Razdan and Ahana Kumra? So it was something which we were discussing about. They were intrigued. One typical and one very, very interesting question that was asked to me was about my hair. So they were very impressed about the kind of hairstyle I made, and then with this long back hair and the back brushed thing. So they were asking me that, okay, this hairstyle is very unique and very something which actually catches our attention. So how did you do it? So I told them. Then I asked them that, sir, whether it's like, is it a negative thing? So then they said, no, you're looking good. It's just we were curious enough to ask. That's why we did, and that was pretty much it. Nothing else. Also, I was asked about my CAT percentile. I answered that. Then I was also asked that what other calls I had. I also told them that. Then they also asked me that, okay, do you have a MICA call, because that's the mecca of marketing? And I said that yes, I do. And then they said that, okay, then why KJ? I then said that, sir, it's always better to have other options. And they said absolutely agreed. And then it was pretty much it. The interview ended on a very lighter note, on a very chill note, and it was very, very chill, very relaxed interview. So I would suggest you all to go through your profile details form that you have filled in, and I mean, understand what all things were there, read them so that you can ingrain everything, and have a better understanding about yourself, because it's about you who will be asked about you in the interview. So I believe that's pretty much it. This is Prantik this side. He will be sharing his experience as well. So, okay, so let me tell you guys about who Prantik is. So, Prantik is a very, very, very dear friend of mine. and we met for the first time at St. Xavier's College, in St. Xavier's College, right?
During the time of admission.
No, it's at St. Xavier's College or in St. Xavier's College?
I think both are correct.
Okay. So Prantik is a English aficionado. So he's
Tell me the spelling.
okay. EFF.
Oh, gone at the first sight. Okay,
Let's move on. Yeah. I don't want to get into this. Prantik is a English aficionado, and he is very good in English. Like he reads a lot of books, lot many novels, and he's very interested in English literature, poetry, all of these things. And he's a very well-read person, very amazing person at heart also. And he has an amazing set of laurels to his name. You people should and must connect with him on LinkedIn as well. Anyways, Prantik is from my college. He's my dear friend from St. Xavier's College. We both graduated together from the same batch, from the same class, and we did all our projects together. And we happened to be competing against each other in this interview.
That is not gonna happen if you know our individual percentiles. So we can cut that part.
So, anyways, but as of now, we were sitting against each other and competing while we were writing the WAT also in GD. He was in a different panel, but again, we are still competing against each other. Okay, Prantik, tell the viewers about your interview experience.
So, firstly, I think I should mention the WAT topic, which was impact of globalization on local cultures. There's a fun part to it because the thing that we studied in college, we had a professor named ID. Her topic, one of her modules was on globalization, and I'm sure that both of us have ripped off her lessons for the WAT, and I think we are lucky on that regard.
And we are also lucky because our panels are different, so maybe our WAT papers will be checked differently, or else the people who are checking
people might think that we have copied from each other because it's just exactly the same professor who taught us. So
exactly. So yeah, coming to the GD.
GD was okay. GD was actually good because the offline interviews that I've given till now, most of the GDs were very almost violent in nature because everyone was trying to bring each other down. But at KJ it did not happen. All of them were respectful. We were given allotted time to speak, and some of the panelists were also actually urging others to speak, which was a very good thing. And to round off the entire process, we were given 15 seconds each to summarize the discussion. So that was it about GD. The topic was sex education in India.
It was the same topic.
Same topic across groups. So now coming to my PI experience, I think my PI experience was good enough. It was like the questions were almost on expected lines only. But interestingly, my panel unofficially had 3 people. So one was a female professor who was from KJ. One was a male professor. I believe he's a professor because he was from Kolkata only. He was a Bengali. And there was another supervisor who was actually supervising the entire process, GDPI process. He was also present in the room, and he was also doubling up as an interviewer in my case. So whenever I was giving an answer, he was cutting me down and he was asking me counter questions, which I did reply. But at some point, I felt that he was trying to put me down and he was trying to prove that what I was saying is not good enough. But I think my task was to be unfazed about all that. But coming to the questions, I think...
1 second before you move on to the questions. So did having 3 professors to evaluate you as opposed to 2, was that a challenge for you?
No, I don't think the third person who was a supervisor will ultimately evaluate me. He was there because no one could actually tell him to leave the room because he was a supervisor. And since he was there, he was also asking me questions casually, which he was not supposed to do. But since he is also a professor, I respectfully answered all his questions. So in my case, it was like a 3-member panel, but that did not really make a difference. But yeah, he was trying to make it challenging for me.
I believe they've seen your profile before.
Maybe. No, not before.
Your laurels, so they were thinking.
No, I don't think all of those happened. But the male professor who was from Kolkata, he was actually very intricately reading my profile form. While the female professor was asking me questions, he was paying undivided attention to my profile form. In fact, the female professor had to wake him up from his slumber and say that it's your turn to ask questions because he was so engrossed in my profile form. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but his questions as a result were all from my profile. And the female panelist asked me questions which were almost generic in nature. Firstly, she started with tell me about yourself. Then we moved on to questions about my work ex. I also work in marketing like Mukti. So she asked me questions about artificial reality and virtual reality, the buzzwords which are currently trending. So I answered those. Then she asked me, "How do you keep yourself updated uh, about the about the recent happenings?" Then I said that I am a voracious reader of newspapers, and she asked me, "Which newspaper do you read?" I said the Indian Express. So her counter question was, "Tell me the sections of the Indian Express. Which sections does the paper have?" So I answered that as well. Then she asked me, "Which is your favorite section?" Then I said that the explained section is my favorite. Uh, then I think then she asked me who is the editor of the Indian Express. So like from one answer she created like 5 6 questions. So it was good for me because I knew about the paper from a long time. I have been a very regular reader of the Indian Express. So after that, the male professor took over. He asked me questions. So there was one thing that he asked me. I had mentioned in my profile form that I had lost 24 kilos. So at one time in 2021, I had become morbidly obese because it was like becoming very unhealthy for me. So I went on this weight loss journey, so which I had mentioned in my profile form. So he said that that is quite impressive. So how did you do that? So I said that discipline. I think discipline is the key word here. We have to stick to a discipline. And then he actually cornered me because Muktodip and I were the last two to enter today. The time was 1. We entered casually at 1:40. So the professor, the male professor asked, the moment I said discipline, the main
Okay,
professor said,
one thing, I'll just cut him off. If you have been watching my previous videos, I was late only in Rohtak and this one. It's not that I'm perpetually late. Today I just got late because of some car issues. And Rohtak's day I was late for some other reasons. It's not that I'm perpetually late. I'm a very disciplined person. I love to go on places on time.
I'll take your word for it. But anyway, the reality was that we were late, and I said that discipline is the key thing to my weight loss journey. And then he cornered me that if discipline is so important for you, why were you late? Then I obviously let him take the shot because I said that my friend was late. He was supposed to pick me up, and he got late, and as a result, I got late. But I felt that I had to twist it around a little bit so that it goes in my favor. He asked me that, what if we had denied you to sit for the interview? Then I said that I would have requested you, but I did not want to ditch my friend because friendship is important to me. He had promised me that he will pick me up. So I had to get into that narrative. Another question that he asked was about my language skills. So, like I had mentioned that I have a love for languages and stuff in my profile form. So he picked that up and said that which all languages can you speak? So I said that I can speak 3 languages fluently, and one language I'm learning, which is Spanish. So he asked me a few questions about why Spanish, how much can you speak it. So I said that also. I shared a very interesting anecdote about the Spanish language, which I had prepared beforehand. So that was good enough. Oh, then the third professor again jutted in and said that, do you know what Guten Morgen means? I said, yeah, it means good morning in German. But he said that, okay, can you say good afternoon in German? I think his questions were not really connected to my profile or the questions that were being asked. He was asking me questions just out of turn and trying to put me in a spot.
Yeah,
So I
so
think,
just to
yeah,
cut
yeah.
you again, I'm cutting you. So basically, in interview situations, you will find a lot of scenarios where you will actually find questions being thrown at you, which will be absolutely irrelevant to your topic, to your profile, to what all you have done. But they ask you those questions to put you in a stressful scenario, to test that whether or not you can handle that amount of pressure, whether you have a presence of mind, whether you have street smartness, just these things. So be prepared, be absolutely confident and calm. If you don't know something, it's absolutely all right to be modest and humble and say that I'm so sorry, sir, I cannot answer this, but I'm unable to recollect it. I'll go back and check it and improve my knowledge base. But it's absolutely wrong to be, be nervous and shiver and not being able to tackle those questions with just a simple sorry. So yeah, please, Prantik, continue.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
So guys, that was pretty much our interview experiences at KJ Somaiya. And I believe it was a chill interview, or
Kind
we
of.
should
Good enough. Yes.
call stressful.
I think a mixed bag. For me, it was a mixed bag. For you, I think it was more of a chill experience.
For me, it was a chill interview. For him, it was slightly of a mixed bag. But then also, I'm pretty much sure that his interview went very well in the kind of person he is and the kind of way he speaks and justifies his answers. So I believe that that was a good interview. Anyways, I believe this video was very helpful, and this video gave you an insight into what the entire process of KJ Somaiya and how a PI at KJ Somaiya essentially looks like. KJ Somaiya is a typical institute, very different from others, which takes a written ability test as well as a group discussion as well as a PI.
Three-pronged process. Mostly institutes have two. This
Yeah,
has three. This is the only one that has all three.
exactly. I believe IIFT also has all three, but let's see. Once we go there, we'll be able to know better. But KJ Somaiya has, and that was pretty much from the video. I hope this was helpful. Please like this video. It's just a like button for you. It's just a click for you. But when you like this video, this YouTube algorithm gets a signal that this video should be promoted to other similar aspirants like you. Please like this video and help us, support our channel. And please share it with your friends, with other aspirants like you. Please share it on Telegram groups, on your WhatsApp groups, or coaching groups. And please subscribe to this channel. More interview experiences coming up, MBA experiences coming up. MBA journey will be there. So next 2 years will be a full bag of surprises and adventures. So please subscribe to this channel, and I hope you like this video. And I wish you all the very best for your KJ Somaiya interview. I wish you all the very best for your other interviews as well. And may you convert your best call and land up to the B school of your dreams. And all the very best. Thank you.